Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for tuning in to what's going to be my 2016 favorites video. Last year I did a hits and misses of 2016. I'm going to be doing something similar this year, but to be honest I couldn't get my act together enough to get it all into one video. So in addition to breaking it up for the sake of length, I'm also just going to be breaking it up because I'm not quite ready to film the rest. So this is going to be a video of all my favorite, like I have been using these easily the most out of the year, talking about those products. However, I'm also going to have a top favorite drugstore products video coming out in the form of a tutorial, and I am wearing that look right now. The entire look was created with drugstore favorites. These aren't the reason I didn't include them in this video is because these aren't really products that I consistently use throughout the year. They are my top go-to in each given category from the drugstore, but the products I'm going to talk about in this video you've seen a lot in favorites videos. I think all of them I've pretty much been using, not behind the scenes, but like you've heard about them consistently. So it's really just a reiteration of all that stuff that I've been loving because it truly has been my everyday go-to, as opposed to if I want to talk about a drugstore product, this is my absolute favorite. That's kind of the distinction there. And then I will also have a flops video, but I gotta be honest, I filmed a couple of them this year that I will link the playlist of that down somewhere at some point. But it seems like I haven't kept my duds around all that well. I have two of them that I'm looking at right now, so I need to do a little bit more digging because I know they are out there, and look back at previous videos to remember those that I might have encountered, because once you find something that doesn't work, you stop using it, so it slips out of my mind. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. First, let's start with the primers. I have two, the first of which is one that will come as no surprise if you've been a long-time viewer like over the last year. If this wasn't in my 2015 favorites, it's something that I started using at the beginning of 2016 because I have been using this for quite a while. It's the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Mattifying Base. I have combo skin, and so anytime I want to wear any sort of dewy foundation and I want it to maintain its dew throughout the day without developing excess shine on my combo skin, which is kind of problematic, I reach for this guy. It is a surefire way to make my makeup last without breaking apart and getting all greasy looking. The other one I recently discovered, and it is a drugstore favorite. It is from Physicians Formula, and it's the Insta-Ready Face Primer. This is a smoothie, one of the only actually smoothing primer I can use on my skin, because the rest have that silicone-y type texture that just makes my makeup feel like it's slipping off. It actually is slipping off, like my makeup just doesn't last with those. This is one of those that has a similar slip, but it sinks beautifully into the skin, and so especially in the drier winter fall months, I've really been loving this as opposed to the mattifying base. So had to include that here, even though you will also see it in the drugstore favorites video as well. Next up is foundation, and I have two. Once again, one is a carryover from last year. It is just that good for me. It's the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation, and I just love it because it's super easy to apply, very buildable, but feels very lightweight, can give you medium to full coverage. It's just, and then it has a very healthy glow. I feel like it's what the Hourglass stick foundation should have been for me, but that just went way too greasy on my skin, and this manages to pull off the dew without becoming excessive throughout the day. The next is my real, like, this is my second one of these this year, and it's already on the fritz. It's the, in fact, it's so broken I don't even have the name. Let me see if I can find it. Aha! This is the J Manual Beauty Filter Finish Collection Skin Perfector Foundation. I know I talk about it super frequently, but the name is so long I can never ever remember it. And my shade is Medium Filter 2. By the way, my Makeup Forever shade is 125 or Y315. Old numbering system versus the new. But I love the J Manual Beauty because it's a liquid foundation that feels a little bit heavier than the Makeup Forever, but it blends so smoothly into the skin to give a really nice matte, somewhat satin finish, and then it does not budge all day. It gives seriously full, very buildable coverage, and it looks like second skin. So between the way it looks on the skin and lasting power, this is just one that I cannot and haven't put down since I discovered it about halfway, 7 or 8 months back. Have been using it consistently throughout the year, enough anyway to have already purchased a second one. Next up is concealer and setting powder. No surprise to anyone, I've talked about these a lot, and I received them in a Vox box of all places and gave them a try, and it turns out they were just the products for me. They're from Kat Von D. They're the Lock-It Concealer Cream. which gives beautiful full coverage. Sometimes I find that it looks like a coverage will be full with a concealer, but then you blend it out and you can still see some discoloration shining through. I tend to have pretty, not severe, but prominent bluish purple tint, especially right in my inner corner. And so I always look to a concealer to help me out with that. Sometimes I go the way of color correction, but I gotta be honest, I'm super lazy when it comes to my everyday routine before I'm trying to get out the door to work. And so if I can rely on one product, I absolutely will. And so this concealer gives full enough coverage for me to just dab a little bit on each inner corner, blend out with my finger, and then set with this powder, and it's good to go for the rest of the day. Absolutely love it. The powder, by the way, is the Kat Von D Lock-It Setting Powder. I talked about this recently in my Battle of the Loose Setting Powders video that I will link or annotate somewhere around here if you want to go check that out. But this is the one that has stood the test of time for me seasonally. It just adapted with my skin beautifully through the seasons, whether my skin was dry, combo, oily, all that business. It just works beautifully on my skin, and it doesn't throw a white cast when you're taking flash photography. Next up is a sad one because it is limited edition, but I had to talk about it because it was truly what I wore ever since I got it ever since the brand sent it to me, probably beginning of the summer. I think that's probably when they launched a bronzer. This is the Pure Minerals Glow Together bronzer, and it is the ideal bronzer for me because it's this gradient. You get multiple different shades. You get a gradient between matte and shimmer, and the sections are big enough to where you could take a nice sized brush and dip it into either to get a completely matte bronze look, a completely shimmery bronze look, or anywhere in between if you just want a lightly satin look. So you take a mix of the two. It just gives you this really beautiful lit from within bronze. And I just love the versatility of this guy. They have to bring it back next year. I know a lot of you guys have been sending me links to places that have it, and I'm just always so hesitant to buy from retailers that aren't, you know, one of the big Sephora, Ulta, the brand itself, things like that. And so I can't bring myself to buy this, especially for what it costs in some of those places. And so I'm just gonna have to, my 2017 beauty commitment is to find a dupe or maybe two products, because this was, I think this was like 27, 30 bucks. So one or two products that dupe this, because it is seriously holy grail bronzer status for me. On to the eyes. This will surprise no one. Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. What's funny is I held off on getting this guy for so long. I was like, oh, I just have, you know, how frequently will I really wear berries and warm tones? Even though this color palette attracted me the minute I saw it, I just thought, that's just not everyday wearable for me. I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get excited about putting it on once or twice or 5 times or whatever, and then I'll toss it aside. No, my friends, this has been with me since the moment I got it, and I've been using it and talking about it in favorites videos each month. It's an amazing palette, and I know some of you might look at this and think these berries are just like not for me, but I have a tutorial up on my channel that shows you how to wear a few of them in a more wearable way. Like you really, you just gotta give it a try. You could even mix these berries with some of these kind of taupey, more subdued taupe colors to kind of temper them. But if you wanna wear a berry eye, these berries are here and ready for you, and so stinking pigmented. Just the shadow quality is amazing. So this has been my ride or die for the year of 2016. Nearing the end with the makeup, it's kind of a short favorites, guys. I really tried to narrow everything down to my apps, the things that I knew I used a lot, like most of the year 2016 is what you'll find in this video. So we are already down to lips, and the products that really wowed me, and as a result I use them really consistently across all of the months, were these liquid lipsticks from House of Uni. I stutter over this every time. I don't know what it is, but it's an amazing indie brand that I did a review of. I got these products from Octoly, so I'll link to that review a while back, but I was so surprised by the quality, the lasting power, the comfort of these liquid lipsticks, and these two shades in particular. I have a really deep purple one that I love, not so everyday wearable for me, but I still love wearing it. These, however, are everyday shades for me. There is Rum Cake, which is the perfect nude, and then Tobago, which is a blue-based red. Amazing. And then the glosses. This is another one that you'll see when I do this drugstore tutorial, is the L'Oreal Infallible gloss. These are just so comfortable, non-sticky, easy to apply. They give a nice, they're not super high shine, but they give a nice healthy sheen to the lips. They come in a super wide variety of colors, and I just the doe foot, the shape of the doe foot makes it easy to apply, especially for those more pigmented shades. So kind of a no-brainer for me there. This is one of those that I always throw in my purse, and it's just one of those that if I'm not wearing anything, if my lip color's worn off and I just want a little something, I will throw one of these guys on. And last, on to two more behind the scenes kind of guys. First up is nails press-ons. You guys, if you've ever asked me what I've been wearing in a video and I haven't gotten back to you, it's always a press-on. And chances are it is always this press-on from Impress. Not this particular pattern. They have so many different patterns. I get them from Walmart, CVS, Walgreens. Different stores carry different patterns, so anytime I'm in one of those places, I will always check out different patterns and different shapes. They have ovals, square tips like you'll see from me, different lengths. Amazing press-on nails, and so I'm always picking them up and I'm always wearing them because I hate to wait for my nails to dry, because I know the second that I do, they're going to chip. Maybe not the second, but like the day after. My nails just don't hold polish for very long, and so press-ons are my solution to that. And I have a whole video on this and my preferences, how to apply, remove, blah, blah, yada, yada, whatever. I also mention Static Nails is another brand that I really, really like. They're a little bit of a harder nail. They're reusable, whereas these aren't, but they are also a little bit more expensive as a result. I have a whole video on it, but basically, I love press-on nails, and I will also use nail glue when applying these in particular because, well, and the static as well, but these are adhesive backed, but I also use nail glue in addition to the adhesive backing because I just find I can get almost 2 weeks of wear out of these guys. So if that ain't a good deal, I don't know what is. And last up is hair. For the better half of 2016, most of the hair on my head has not been mine. I've constantly, like pretty much since starting my channel day one, always complained, talked about how thin and fine my hair is, and so this year I finally did something about it. It was quite the investment for me. It took a lot of thinking about because they are tape-in extensions, but ever since I got them in what, May or June, I have never been happier. So recently I got them extended. The first time I did them, I got the 12-inch extension, so I had kind of shorter hair. She also cut them up into my hair, which was shorter at the time, but after 3 refresh appointments basically where they take them out and move them up to your back up to your hairline, after 3 of those sessions, you need to get new hair because your hair is either not matching your hair's natural length. Like those extensions were actually 1 inch shorter than my natural hair because my hair had grown so much while wearing the extensions. For reasons like that, or just because the ends are so shot, you need to get a new set of hair. And so this time I went longer. They're 16 inches that she then cut up. But I've just been loving them. Loving them, and would highly recommend them. I have a video on that too as well if you want to watch it, but would highly recommend VoMor tape-in extensions to anyone who is thinking of dipping their toe in the extension water. So those are all of my 2016 favorites, guys. I hope you guys have had some happy holidays, depending on when I post this, a very happy New Year's, and I'm so excited to see what comes in 2017. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you have been subscribed, guys, thank you so stinking much. We have been here on YouTube for like, what, 4, 5, 6 years? I have lost track. I don't know. But for those of you who have been with me at any point from the beginning to yesterday to this video today, I just want to thank you so much for your support. So thank you. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.